Hey friends, I am so glad that you're here and I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Welcome to Mustard Seed Homesteading. My name is Megan and if you're new here, welcome. Today we're gonna go around harvesting all of my different mints. I have mojito mint, peppermint, and spearmint. We're also gonna be harvesting all of my lemon balm and I'm gonna show you how I do that. I'm also gonna show you how I preserve it, which is my favorite way of preserving, as well as the different uses that you can use these with and my very favorite way of using it at the end. So let's get started. First thing that you want to always have is some sort of a basket or bucket to put your harvest in. I just have this bucket from my local grocery store. It was for free. I got it out of the bakery section because they throw these buckets away anyways. But also stay tuned and make sure you subscribe because I did just gather a whole bunch of buckets from the grocery store and I plan to do a very low budget garden using these buckets for free. So make sure you're subscribed for that. And then you just want to have a pair of scissors or pruners to cut your harvest to make your life easier. Okay, so here's one of my lemon balms. I have 3 other plants, but for the sake of time in our video, I just brought one over. And as you can see, it grew pretty tall. I just grow this in a pot. And what you want to do is you want to take your scissors, your pruners, and you want to cut low, not all the way down to the root. You don't want to cut everything off because there's going to be regrowth. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So let me cut a piece off. Now, if you can see where these branch out, let me see if I can get my hand there. These 2 that branch out, those are gonna continue to grow. Not this piece because I cut it, but the pieces by the pot. Now, I'll show you a close-up of what I mean, but they're just gonna continue to grow, and the more that you harvest them, the more that they're gonna continue to grow. So let me give you an up-close look at what I'm talking about, and then I'm gonna harvest the rest of the lemon balm. Okay, so here's an up close of where I cut the branch off. And as you can see, these pieces, all of these, those are gonna branch out and make their own set of branches. And the more you harvest, the more this plant continues to branch out. Okay, so hopefully you can see I did not cut all the way down because the little bit that I left, now those are going to branch out and they're going to make a whole new set of their own branches for the next time I need to harvest. Okay, so now we're over by my mojito mint. I wish you could smell this. It smells absolutely amazing. But this is all my mojito mint that is on my top tier of my green stalk. As I told you in a previous video that this is all mints, including lemon balm, are very invasive plants. So you want to contain them when you do plant them. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start harvesting where it's still, let's see here. I'm going to harvest this top part right here, but I'm still going to leave a little bit of this nub where you can see there's still some leaves here so that it can continue to grow as well. Okay, so now we're over by my peppermint. I'm gonna harvest that right now and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, now we're at my spearmint and I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that right now. Okay, so here's a perfect example of what I was talking about these plants being very invasive. If you can see this, this is a new vine from my mojito mint. These ones that I already harvested are the older vines, and they're always producing new vines like this. That's why I have it planted in my top tier, because if you put this in the ground, it will just spread everywhere. So now this one will grow into a new one. These leaves will mature and grow, and then I will harvest that down the road, and then more vines will appear, and it'll just continue to produce and to produce. The more you harvest, the more it produces. Okay, so we just harvested all of the mint as well as my lemon balm. I'm gonna go inside, we're gonna clean it, we're going to preserve it, and I'm gonna show you my favorite way that I like to use my mint and my lemon balm, so stay tuned to the end. Okay, so now we're in my kitchen and I have all of my mint and my lemon balm on my countertop. The first thing that I do is clean everything. So I'll fill up my sink with cool water. I will add some distilled vinegar just to get the extra debris off from outside or any insects or bugs that might be still on them. And then I love to preserve it using my Harvest Right freeze dryer. Now there are different methods to preserving it. You can dehydrate your mint, you can hang dry your mint, or you can freeze dry your mint. And so one of the ways I have done it before is I've taken my mint, let's just use this for an example, and I placed it inside a paper bag. But what I did first was I tied a string around the mint. I took that string and tied it on the handle of the paper bag while it's inside. And then I placed another paper bag on top of that so that no direct sunlight was hitting it and no debris was getting on, any dust. And it just completely dried out to the point where it crinkled in your hand when it was done. I've done that before, but my favorite method has been the Harvest Right freeze drying. If you have a dehydrator, you can also use a dehydrator, and you could also use your oven to dehydrate if you know how to use that as a dehydrator. So there are different ways to preserve, but for this demonstration, I'm gonna show you how I use my Harvest Right freeze dryer. But first, let's wash all the mint and the lemon balm. So I quickly want to add that while it soaks in the vinegar water, this is a time where I'll go in there and I will just find these little burnt icky leaves and take them off so that I can throw them away and they don't get mixed in with the good leaves. Okay, so I just finished rinsing all of my mint and my lemon balm in the vinegar water. I rinse them again with fresh water. I place them all on the towel so that they can drip dry. I'm gonna go through them again to make sure I didn't miss any icky leaves, and then I'm gonna get them ready for the trays to preserve them in my freeze dryer. And real quick, I wanna show you the trays from my freeze dryer. I purchased the medium size, so I have a 4-tray freeze dryer. I'm gonna fill these all up with my mint leaves. I definitely like to keep them separated, so I'll do all mint, all peppermint, spearmint, and lemon balm just so I don't get them mixed up, but we'll be placing them on these trays and into the freeze dryer. So here is all of my cleaned mint that is drying. That is my mojito mint on the left, then spearmint, the next one is peppermint, and then the very last bunchel is the lemon balm. Now what I'm going to do is go through each of the leaves and get rid of the icky ones and separate them from the good ones. It is definitely tedious work, but this is going to be a very large supply of mint and lemon balm that is going to last for a long time, so it is absolutely worth it. Okay, so here is all of the mint. It's completely clean, taken off the vine. Over here in this tray is my peppermint. Over here is my spearmint. And these last 2 trays are my mojito mints. I will place them into the freeze dryer right now and let them process. And then as soon as they're done, I will show you the final product and share my favorite way of using them. Okay, so here's my freeze dryer. Sorry for the lighting. It is in my garage, but I have the peppermint on top, the spearmint right here, and my 2 mojito mints right here. We're going to close the door. We're gonna lock it. And then we have to hit the continue so that we can load it and start to freeze. And now it's freezing, and we'll come back when it finishes. So before I show you my first batch of all of the freeze-dried mints, this is my second batch of all of my lemon balm. It took less than 24 hours because it is not a bulky food item, but I plan to now put them in my Ziploc bags that I've used before and now just take them out of my cabinet whenever I need them. Okay, so now we're on day 2. I just took all the mint and the lemon balm out of the freeze dryer. It took less than 24 hours to preserve because it's not a bulky food, so it didn't need that long of time. And what we have here is the spearmint, and as you can hear, it's got like a crispy, crunchy sound to it. Now you could use this whole, you can break it in half, you can powder it. There's so much that you can do with this. And then the next tray is the peppermint. Now peppermint's got more of a green color and it's got like a purple stem. It's a really pretty color. And then the last 2 trays are the mojitos, the mojito mint. And you can see that the leaf is a bit bigger than the other ones. And I wish you could smell this. The smell is just amazing, which is why I love freeze drying as one of my ways to preserve, because it keeps the smell and the nutrition locked in when it freeze dries in the freeze dryer. And I've just noticed that compared to when I dried my mint in the paper bags like I had shared earlier in the video, it's very different. I noticed that the taste and the smell was a lot more potent and stronger as opposed to drying the herbs out in the bags, which I would do the bags again. I just prefer this method more. Now, there are several ways that you can use the mint and the lemon balm. I'm gonna share a couple, and I got all of this information from almanac.com. It is one of the sources I use for a lot of my gardening stuff, from vegetables, flowers, and herbs. I will have this listed in the description below, but I'll just name a few because there's a lot of great information. I highly encourage you to look at this, but also explore almanac.com. But you could use it as a hair rinse, you could use it for facial astringent, mouthwash, for your bath, and of course food, drinks, your tea. But one of the ways that I enjoy using my mint and my lemon balm is making tea. So I have 2 different ways that I make the tea. I have this one, which is by OXO. It's an infusion for making hot tea. And you just put your leaves in here, put the top on to keep, you wanna lock in the steam so that the oils don't escape. And just put it in your cup and you just let it seep for at least 15 to 20 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. And then the other one I have is my little cute teapot, and it's got the same thing. It has the infuser, so you just put your leaves inside of here. And you just put it in here where your hot water is, and you just let it seep for a while, and you just pour it out. And then with tea, I mean, you can add whatever you want with tea. I have Manuka honey. Let's see if I can get that in there. I have Manuka honey, but you can put lemon, you can put lime. I mean, there's just so many things that you can do. But my very favorite way to use the mint as well as the lemon balm is infusing it in my everyday water. So this is my cup that I use every single day. It is from the Ball brand mason jar. The sleeve is from Country Living Kitchen. And in here is the infuser. Right now I have lemon balm in there, and it just sits in my water. And the reason I love having this, and it's my favorite way to use it, is not only is my water taste refreshing, but I'm getting the daily added benefits from the mint and the lemon balm, and I've absolutely enjoyed it. So I'd encourage you, if you do preserve, to try this. It's like I said, this is my favorite way to use the mint and the lemon balm. So when it comes to storing your mint and your lemon balm, there's different ways that you can store it. If you plan to store it long term, you can always put it into a Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber, or if you plan to use it once in a while or on a daily basis like I do, you can always stick it in a mason jar with an oxygen absorber, or you don't have to if you use it pretty often. The way I prefer to do it, because I use mine on a daily basis, is I have this little plastic bin and I just put them in Ziploc bags where I label them, and then I just put it in here and I pull it out and pick whatever mint or lemon balm that I want for the day. The thing is with when you're storing your preserved mint or lemon balm is you just want to make sure it's sealed very well and it's out of direct sun or light. So I hope this video has encouraged you to go and plant some mint and then learn to harvest and preserve it and then use it in your kitchen, whether from food to tea to your water or even facial or hair stuff, as I mentioned earlier from that article, because it is such an easy plant to grow. It's very hard to kill mint, which is one of the reasons why I love it, because as a third-year gardener, I've had some failures in my garden, and this is one that has helped me to stay encouraged, because it's very difficult to kill mint. So I hope this encouraged you, and if you like this kind of content, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing and sharing. It would really help me to not only grow my channel and to share this with others, but also to help me make more videos like this. I would really appreciate it. And I do want to share a little something. I have a video that is coming up very soon on beet powder. This is some of it. I have one more freeze-dried batch that I have to do. So definitely be subscribed, because I'm going to show you how I freeze-dry this, the benefits, but also the uses for beets, because as you know, supplements keep going up in price. And I don't know about you, but I am tired of the sticker prices on these supplements. I still take some, but I'm trying to lessen what I take and use more whole foods, because there is a lot of benefits to whole foods, and you could use this as a nutrition supplement. So definitely be subscribed, because hopefully that'll be my next video. I'm still in the midst, because I'm trying to gather as much information as possible to share with you all, because there's just so much benefits to beets. So like I said, definitely stay tuned in for that. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day. I'll see you next time.